every year, right as the leaves turn that perfect shade of orange and gold, the carnival rumbles into town. You know the one. The Ferris wheel that creaks just a little too much, the smell of popcorn and diesel fuel hanging in the air. But for us kids, the real magic wasn't the rickety rides or the impossible to-win games. It was the cotton candy stand. This thing was a beacon, a glowing pink beacon of pure sugar. The machine, a big silver bowl, never seemed to stop spinning. It would hum and whir day and night, even when the carnies were packing up and the last families were heading home. It spun these perfect, fluffy clouds of pink sugar that seemed to glow from the inside out. We'd all heard the whispers, of course, stories passed down from older siblings. They said the machine ran on its own. They said the cotton candy tasted different after dark, like secrets and starlight. Most of us just laughed it off. It was just sugar, right? But the legend stuck in the back of your mind, especially when you'd walk past the deserted fairgrounds at night and see that faint pink glow pulsing in the darkness. You could almost hear the low, steady hum of the machine spinning away all by itself. This year, Leo, Maya, Chloe, and I decided we weren't just going to listen to the stories. We were going to find out the truth. The plan was simple, maybe a little stupid, but we were buzzing with that specific kind of courage you only find on a cool autumn night. We waited until the last light was switched off, until the only sound was the wind rustling through the empty tents. Then we slipped under the main gate. The fairgrounds after hours are a whole different world. It's a skeleton of what it is during the day shadows stretch and twist, and every little sound makes you jump. As we crept closer to the food stalls, we heard it, a low, rhythmic hum. It was coming from the cotton candy stand. Just like the legend said, the machine was running, spinning slowly in the moonlight. There was no one around. The carney who ran it, a grumpy guy named Silas, was long gone. Yet there it was, churning away. "Okay, this is officially creepy," Maya whispered, pulling her jacket tighter. Leo, of course, was trying to play it cool. "Relax, it's probably just on a timer or something. Don't want the sugar to get hard." But even he couldn't hide the goosebumps on his arms. We got closer. The cotton candy inside wasn't the fluffy pink stuff we were used to. It was different. It shimmered, almost like it was spun from moonlight and cobwebs. It looked sticky, delicate, and it clung to the sides of the bowl in weird, wispy threads. And then we heard something else. A faint sound, almost too quiet to notice. It was coming from the sugar cloud. Whispers, tiny, hushed voices, like secrets being told just for us. "Did you guys hear that?" Chloe asked, her eyes wide. We all nodded slowly. The whispers seemed to pull us in, promising something amazing, something magical. Leo, ever the brave one, or maybe just the one with the biggest appetite, reached out. "I'm gonna try it," he declared. "What's the worst that can happen?" A legendary sugar high brunk, he grabbed a piece. The moment his fingers touched it, the whispering stopped. The texture was all wrong. It wasn't fluffy. It was sticky and cold, like a spider's web after a rainstorm. Before we could stop him, he shoved it in his mouth. For a second, nothing happened. He just chewed, a thoughtful look on his face. "Tastes like forgotten memories," he said, which was a weird thing for Leo to say. But that's when things went from strange to terrifying. We were standing near the fun house, its distorted mirrors reflecting the moonlit carnival. Maya happened to glance at Leo's reflection, and she screamed, a real blood-curdling scream. We all turned to look. In the wavy mirror, it wasn't Leo staring back. It was someone else. A boy with the same jacket, the same messy hair, but his face was different. His eyes were dark, hollow pits, and his smile was a thin, cruel line. The reflection wasn't mirroring Leo's shocked expression. It was watching us with a chilling calmness. "Leo, look," I yelled. He turned and saw it. He stumbled back, his face pale. "What is that?" "That's not me." The boy in the mirror raised a hand, and it wasn't a reflection of Leo's movement. It was independent. It tapped on the glass from the inside, a slow, deliberate tap. 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 Leo, in a panic, grabbed another piece of the shimmering cotton candy. "Maybe more will fix it," he reasoned, which made absolutely no sense, but he ate it anyway. As the strange sugar dissolved on his tongue, the reflection in the mirror changed again. It became clearer, more solid. The hollow-eyed boy's features sharpened. He looked more real. He smiled, a wide, predatory grin, and this time his reflection didn't just tap the glass, it pressed its hand flat against it, as if testing its strength. We realized the horrifying truth. The cotton candy wasn't just candy. The machine wasn't just spinning sugar, it was spinning replacement copies. And the more of the candy you ate, the more real your replacement became. We looked back at the machine. It was starting to spin faster now, the hum growing louder, more urgent. A new, almost fully formed candy person was beginning to take shape inside the bowler shimmering, wispy duplicate of Maya. "It's making us," she shrieked. "It's spinning out copies of us." Leo was starting to fade. Not literally disappearing, but his edges seemed blurry. He looked confused, clutching his head. "I feel floaty," he mumbled, "like I'm forgetting who I am." His reflection in the funhouse mirror, however, looked more solid than ever. It was pounding on the glass now, the mirror shaking in its frame. But we had to stop it. We had to stop the machine before it finished spinning out our replacements, and we faded away, became the hollow-eyed reflections in the mirror. We didn't want to find out. "The power," I shouted, pointing to a thick, greasy cable running from the back of the stand to a junction box near the tilt-a-whirl. "We have to unplug it." Chloe and I sprinted towards the box while Maya stayed with Leo, trying to keep him focused. "Leo, stay with me. What was your mum's name? What's your dog's name?" She quizzed him, trying to anchor him to his own memories. The machine was roaring now, a high-pitched whine that hurt our ears. Inside the bowl, the shimmering figures of Maya, Chloe, and me were almost complete, their hollow eyes beginning to glow. We reached the junction box. It was old, rusty, and locked. "It's locked," Chloe yelled over the noise. Leo's reflection in the funhouse mirror let out a silent, triumphant laugh as a crack appeared in the glass. "We were out of time. Just break it," I yelled. Chloe grabbed a discarded wrench from a nearby toolkit and started smashing it against the lock. Sparks flew. The metal groaned. With one final, desperate swing, the lock shattered. I yanked the heavy lid open. Inside was a mess of wires and a huge red lever. It looked like the kind of switch you see in old monster movies right before the castle explodes. With all my strength, I pulled the lever down. There was a loud asterisk, clunk asterisk, and a shower of sparks erupted from the junction box. The lights on the carnival rides flickered and died, and most importantly, the high-pitched whine from the cotton candy machine sputtered and faded into silence. The entire fairground was plunged into an eerie quiet. We ran back to the stand. The half-formed sugar-spun duplicates inside the bowl collapsed into a pile of shimmering, sticky dust. We looked at the funhouse mirror. The reflection of the hollow-eyed boy flickered like a bad TV signal and then vanished, leaving only Leo's own terrified face staring back at himself. He looked solid again. He blinked, shaking his head as if waking from a dream. "Whoa," he said, his voice shaky. "I think I just had the worst sugar crash in history." We all let out a collective breath we didn't realize we'd been holding. We had done it. We'd stopped the machine. We didn't stick around. We scrambled back under the gate and didn't stop running until the fairgrounds were just a dark silhouette against the horizon. As we finally paused to catch our breath miles away, we thought we heard it. A faint, distant sound carried on the autumn wind, a low, familiar hum. It was probably just our imagination. It had to be, but none of us ever looked at a cotton candy machine the same way again. And we all agreed some legends are better left as stories. Thanks for sticking with us through that spooky carnival tale. If you love stories that give you chills, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more mysteries. And let us know in the comments what's the creepiest urban legend from your town. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.